Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to dive into our old pal AutoFlex.
Yes, in a different club.
In a different club, and in a way we've never tested it before, so I'm curious to see what we learned today. We have, I wouldn't say exhausted our driver testing with it, but we've done extensive driver testing, different lengths, different builds, different flexes, different weights at different speeds. I mean, we've done quite a lot from a test perspective, and you know, I think we've given a really good sort of description of what it does for different players. But lots of people over the last few weeks have been asking, should I just get it in my driver and my 3-wood?
It goes all the way into the irons, so we've received questions all the way down.
Yeah.
It's a fair question. I mean, we've seen a lot of good stuff. It isn't out of the box good. It requires a fit, which is true of any product. But we've seen, once fit and dialed in, that it can produce some really good ball speed and distance numbers and accuracy.
Definitely.
So it would only be natural if someone can see that there's merit to it. The 3-wood isn't a pure distance club. The only hesitation I have is, well, I'm not trying to hit this as far as possible,
Absolutely.
so how does that tie in?
That's exactly it.
But the strike pattern improvements with AutoFlex and the driver would be fantastic with the 3-wood. So if that carries over, then that alone would be worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly it. So we're going to dive into that. We're going to test against your 3-wood. Your 3-wood is a 4-wood, 16.5 with the 7X Fuji 2.0 Tour spec.
Yes.
So we expect to see some differences, but what I want to show is that in motion, what the shaft is effectively doing. What are the variances of the weight, the length, the flex, all these sorts of things, what are going to offer you and other people versus their gamer.
We've got a 1/2 inch extra length on the AutoFlex 3-wood.
Exactly. And that's important because as we've said in the past, we've never tested the AutoFlex, neither we probably would at its standard length. I don't think that's its purpose.
It doesn't sound like it would do much for someone, because the point of it is to get the ball out there a little bit further. A little bit further
and sort of, but with that control. Yeah. So if you're gaining the control, why not gain the distance as well?
Yes. Yeah, because you can gain in control from other shafts.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah. But if you can get the extra ball speed, you're right.
Definitely. I will say, there have been some reviews coming back from people who have purchased AutoFlex off the back of our videos. Yeah. Unbelievable feedback.
Good.
Unbelievable feedback.
So really enjoying
people saying they saw in their game and benefits exactly what we saw.
Good.
And I know that won't be everyone, because everyone won't have the ability to get fitted for it.
Right. You're talking about the people that were fit through our kind of online process?
Through that, or even who and I will say they probably got lucky that it just worked for them.
It just worked, yeah.
But there have been many messages come into my Instagram to say that they just love the thing.
That's awesome.
Which is great to hear.
It's good to hear. I mean, we've had a lot of fun with it in here. The results have been great. The last thing on earth I would like to see is that people bought it and it didn't do anywhere near
100%.
that. So it's a relief for us, I think, personally.
It would definitely be that.
Nobody wants to see people wasting money.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, let's hit some baseliners and see what's going on. This is handsome.
It's a goodie. Similar.
Good. Very good, Matty boy.
It's a tasty one.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's a goodie. Yeah.
Okay.
Those will work. Oh, it's going forward.
Oh, so good. It's so
lovely
good.
Magenta.
Look at that.
Hot. Oh.
Ay. It's the shaft's drooping a hell of a lot.
Okay.
And the dynamic lie angle as a result came way down. 0.6.
Oh, wow, I've never seen that.
Never seen your dynamic lie. So the shaft is basically shortening. That's not aiding the toe strike at all.
Okay, so I gotta, okay. So the shortening of it, the flattening of that's pushing it into the toe.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's definitely taking more adjustment than the driver for me. However, I'm probably not the target for this, as you said, but I think it's identifying an interesting pattern for someone that does struggle with the 3-wood though.
All right, Matty boy, interesting little test that.
Yeah.
As we said at the top of the episode, it's not like we were expecting to replace your forward with whatever we put in your hands today, but more just to dissect what was different and what this type of setup may offer someone else.
Yes, definitely.
It definitely offers you speed. I mean, 4 miles an hour is no joke.
No, club head speed, it was consistently 118, 119, even a few at 120, but I didn't feel like I was killing it. The extra club head speed kind of at the same level of effort, still occurring with a 3-wood, same as the driver.
So a few things where that came from. 1/2 inch added some.
Right.
The additional lead deflection added some. If you look at the ball flight itself, more draw, faster rotation will basically give you more speed.
Right.
The strike was out in the toe with the AutoFlex for the most part.
I feel like this setup with this shaft is very draw centric, very draw biased. I, as someone who struggles with hitting too much of a draw or too much of a low spin draw, it's not for me. I can tell you 2 swings in, I would have said I'm not ever going to play this.
Yeah.
But immediately thought of the person who strikes their current 3-wood a bit in the heel, hits it kind of short and kind of slices it. Would be watching this going, you can move my strike potentially. I'm not saying it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Potentially going to get the strike a little bit more toe side because of that shaft movement you talked about.
Yep.
And that alone will take a bunch of the spin away. That alone will change the curvature. And then a little bit of extra club head speed, you're going to gain some yardage.
As a club fitter looking at something that has the ability to kind of shift, strike, shift, dynamic, delivery, those are all real positives.
Definitely.
Because the worst thing we could ever have is a wall full of things that are the same.
True.
You know, because then you'll never be able to go, okay, that's this or that's that. I mean, I could see how well yours was working for you today.
Yes.
The delivery characteristics were very good, and I think the lesser valued in path numbers were more because you saw yourself striking it more in the toe.
Yes.
And you kind of were changing it yourself, weren't you?
I had to. I probably, if I kept the same club, I felt like I switched my path by at least 3.
Yeah.
And angle of attack by at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So it is a club, as I said before, if you are someone who struggles with a bit of a hook or an overdraw with a 3-wood, I would probably say unlikely this is going to work for you.
Yeah.
Unless somehow the strike pattern is not an issue for you. But that being said, again, the person who will be looking at this, I think the way you just showed it there, they have trouble getting the spin down.
Yeah.
They have trouble getting the strike away from the heel. This is helping with a lot of that stuff.
It is. One of the things we had always mentioned with AutoFlex was it was designed to be played at a lighter swing weight, which means it was designed to be played with lighter head weights. We've just jumped up another 10, 12 grams in head weight.
Right.
That is having an influence on the droop of the golf club. That's why you were living in the toe. The head was being pulled down more. The shaft was basically deflecting at that axis more. That moved your strike toward. Again, another thing, I'd be trying to do that in a fit. If you were hitting it out to the left and struggling with that, I'd be trying to move your strike around a little bit. I'd be trying to twofold attack the face and the strike simultaneously to get the start line and curvature in balance.
So correct me if I'm wrong, normally to get a shaft that's drooping the amount this is drooping, to get that line go so, I guess, flat, to get that strike moving to the toe, normally a shaft that does that is like a 30-gram Basara or something.
Probably something like that.
And it's not hittable for someone like me or for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Whereas this, theoretically, in motion, we know this is doing something a bit different than it does at address. So maybe it's allowing you to get the benefits of that super light shaft in the 3-wood, but you can actually hit it.
I think that's right. I mean, we built it to D3, so it was in a comfortable swing weight balance point for you. The overall weight is a little bit lighter, but from a balance perspective, the way you perceive the mass down at the end of the golf club was in the right spot. So you were going to get the right sensations from it. I mean, and look at that dynamic lie angle.
Very interesting.
We've never seen your dynamic lie angle that sort of neutral or flat. Normally with a fairway wood, you're 5 or 6 up.
Yes, so that is completely different.
Entirely different.
I think the driver I had more confidence in with the AutoFlex for a couple reasons. A smaller head hitting the ball off the ground. I don't know that people are going to find this as kind of easy as using the AutoFlex and the driver. But I would say if you have a slice shot pattern, excess spin, and a heel strike, at least try this in a 3-wood.
I mean, there's probably a little argument as well for the person who just hates a driver.
Make this into a mini driver.
A little mini driver, because I'm looking at those numbers going, okay, if I put a driver in your hands right now, would I expect you to be much more than 170, flying at 290? I don't know if I'd be expecting much more from that right now.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Do you want to do something fun? Short tee, let me hit like 2 at driver speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you're right. As a driver, here you go. As a driver potential replacement, maybe we're onto something.
That's such a good flight. So
that's
very similar to that first one.
Yeah.
But it was obviously a lot flatter. Was that 175?
Yeah. This is really interesting. So what'd you loft this down to?
So down to 13.
Wow. That's really cool though. Like that right there, 3-wood as a driver replacement, might be the first time I've not looked at the term driver replacement and gone, whatever. That actually has some merit. It really does.
There's more of a conversation piece there because we've kind of matched your launch conditions.
Yeah.
We've just given you some speed to go with it.
So much speed.
But again, I'm a broken record. I know I am. But it's just when it comes down to fitting.
It does. A poorly fit driver.
It didn't work with it the way the driver head was at the start.
No.
But we've made it work through going through the trial and error process.
No, this was great. Yeah. I had to be honest, pretty low expectations for AutoFlex in a 3-wood.
Yes.
It's been proven enough to me that it's doing great in the driver when fit properly. I didn't expect, really, to be honest, anything good to come of the 3-wood.
There's lots in it. There definitely is lots in it. And we were chatting slightly earlier about the reality is the gains that you had made from the first combo that we had put in there for you.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it was more or whatever it was, at the price of the shaft, I mean, who's going to give a monkeys about 7 yards?
I'm not putting $1,100 shaft in my 3-wood after this test.
No one is. But if you're the person who's a little bit more like this player, and you go, well, would I gain 9 miles an hour? Could I build it to be just a, ramped up version of my current fairway wood that kind of doesn't really do, as much for me as I would currently like, and I hit it a lot?
True.
Absolutely, that person would.
Club, narrow course.
Yep.
This club right here would work great on my home course because that amount of distance is perfect. It's a fairly narrow course and
fantastic.
Be laughing. If I could hit more fairways, I would do it.
I know. That was like you said, that we got more out of that experiment than we thought we would because we turned 3-wood as a driver replacement. Definitely. Literally, as that tag says, as a driver replacement, this actually holds more value than we were seeing as a true 3-wood club in the bag.
I agree. This now, to be fair, is the TaylorMade original one. They should sell this. Don't worry about that mini driver. Sell a 13-degree rocket sim.
I know.
Pair it with an AutoFlex.
So true.
And mini driver.
Get your orders in.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, guys. Just again, another fun way for us to show you guys the dynamics at work during fitting, the different ways in which if we're not achieving it one way, we can achieve it another way. We have so many tools. These are all tools in the toolbox here at TXG. Other fitting centers have it. how you use it, the information that you get, allow you to pick or allow you to know which heads and shafts to pick. It's really, this is our job. This is why we have all these shafts at our disposal, why we have fitting kits and we do what we do, because we can extract this level of performance out it once we dig deep enough. We've not been at this long, but we've still been able to, dive in and get some significant gains here. I mean, anyone would cut off their right arm to kind of get that type of improvement on their current 3 woods. So
no, I totally agree.
Looks great.
That was a fun test.
Very, very cool. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. We'll see you again soon.